Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
Actually, I think we should maybe even get going now.
He clearly does not think poking the hornet's nest is a wise plan anymore. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands, in no response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. No response. Wherever this... An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligate. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinez tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life either. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffiti.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books? Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Good thing she didn't say party eyes loud. Her mother's nearby. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
I didn't know I had to do that. I'm glad I could help you, sir.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities.
Shelves fill to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen. Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz. By High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the next to Irv's life story. You see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a run-down drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. 850 million people live on these tiny dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart by history. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. Hudon, it's somewhere to live, Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Yes. Are you interested or not? Always good to be informed of your surroundings. I'm sorry, officer, but they're quite valuable, though they might... That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist list from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these...
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pearl. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab. It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pearl. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pearl and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable. Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in? For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pearl, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity. This is exactly what you need. Andropanetic nudism? That's insane. that's beyond dangerous. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf. Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
A true cultural touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
just an ordinary wall, nothing to see here.
Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Your finger moves through the various streets. across Rue de Saint Ghislain and Rue Saint-Cypar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally, coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it, your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have retained the material at hand. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the... Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the... Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She is often called an anti-innocence. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt. Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Incorrect. Vespa Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vespa and Messina. Care to try again? Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Ernest Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? I've got it, honest. I don't even have to say it anymore. Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. Zero doubts. Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow and more beautiful. And more beautiful, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get A C, vaguely passable. A solid effort with nothing much else to show. Nice going, mediocrity man. You would have done better if you'd just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
What's going on with you? Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers. Browsing through the book again, you still have trouble understanding the torrent of information. It only seems to add to the confused jumble of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. It seems rather unfair to try again after you already know the answers. But sure, if this makes you feel better. Here, oh yeah, this is what I was made for. Correct. Nothing much is as the first innocent. Question 2. Who? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Incorrect. Correct. Franco Negro at question 3. Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's what? Correct. The most famous final stretch. You've come. I've got it on it. I don't even have to say it anymore. Correct. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. And more beautiful. And congratulations on finishing the test. An A. All correct. Impressive. Oddly so. You really navigated some treacherous waters here. Well done. The lieutenant is doing his best to ignore. Yeah, sure. It's so much easier once you know the answers, right? Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out, those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Riversholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it, preacher man. Set the brothers free. Taxes are racist.
Mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting just like we talked about before. Oh, that one.
Told you.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... To hell with it. Every worker is white. Now, what can I do for you today? Mega rich light bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. Harry, it's beginning to dawn on me that you're a real fascist. A mega-fascist who imagines mega-rich light-bending fascists. I love it. Thank you for sharing this facet of yourself with me. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry. I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
Gentlemen, what can I do for you? Traveling. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly? Oh, interesting. I've made quite a few real estate plays over the years. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals, smart, you know, luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems. Don't get me wrong, they're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods. Go right ahead.
The unpromising raise pupil.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Los Ardis? They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. A warehouse? I don't know.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay? Because Frit has an army.
She blinks at you, confused as to why you'd ask such an obvious thing.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Businesses often hire private.
Okay.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Oh yeah, they're a big deal. Someone with a cart. What did you think it was? That's how deep into history our thing reaches. Before machines. Not at all. We are part of a guild and everything, huh? It's very ancient. Very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. But when they try to replace us, they'll regret it. Trusting street.
Yes?
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick, you should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. The door sits sturdily in the frame, and your fist...
Stop that.
You see a heavy steel door, the cobalt blue surface, old cobalt paint. It leads to a side building. Behind the dockworkers, you see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown in. There's a little slight one can't see. Call box, East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name. You hear the same. You ring the doorbell. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Just seeing the word. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall.
Seems like an old bunker from... It means there are firearms.
He likes this fight. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Nothing happens. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. Behind the hatch sits a cube. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Instant. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Still no. Still no. Received. I will register.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there any? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its...
Yes?
No response. He's having trouble processing. A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his... Your flashlight slides over. Some of the writing has faded with age. The handwriting, the full text outside. This, it looks, Minimi, stands for a... Your eyes glide over. This, it looks, Minimi, stands for a... Your eyes glide the photo color, entire ocean. You see primitive, albeit a pinned postcard. These lithe, translucent. Who are all one of the Welkins? Towering. Your eyes glide. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full. The metal feels cold. A thick that's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of... You know this to be the star of Periconesus, or the Cairo. The church looks old and around the large wood. This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
There was a revitalization project in '49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick. They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection before something went sour. I suspect it was Erard's Claire's doing. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal, the curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the lenses shift, the ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely...
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? What would you like to know? Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain. White, qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the dap?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 Insulindic regattas, even finished once. The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Actually, you don't. It is a little-known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license.
The Wayfarer Act is one of the few pieces of legislation governing human interaction in the Revachol Zone of Control, along with the Emergency Trade and Ailments Acts. It's one of the foundational laws in Revachol, designed to limit the authority of local institutions. Part of it prohibits the RCM from requesting most documents and licenses without permission from a coalition representative. It's a law that keeps Revachol what it is, in limbo.
I was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act. Unless it's their passport. No. Do you want to ask for the lady's passport?
Of course.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Siegen, the Republic of Vespa, formerly the Republic of Vespa Messina, was once a dual kingdom. An amicable parting of ways produced 2 constitutional monarchies. Vespa, the richer of the 2, is an occidental nation known for its proximity to the Pale and its exotic financial derivatives. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Yes, but please don't call me that. Joyce is much more efficient. My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Good. What we do.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines, and that is the term.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions. Walpines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantanga. on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed, or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that. You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What we do,
There was a touch of discomfort.
the Pines core and that is the term.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes.
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet. Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem... A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it's... You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible... We built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Of course. Mr. Clare, fuck off, midget. Yes. Keep in mind, there are leaflets every work.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
An opening gambit, surely.
So I hoped. But this type of opening is usually followed by a more reasonable offer. I've yet to... And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disaster.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out. No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous 4...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
There are leaflets everywhere.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizazzo as every worker a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time, just so you understand, this is but one...
An opening gambit, surely.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that... And now...
Excuse me.
I first heard it...
This... No, wait. The chief
Of course. How else can I help? Of course. Anything to help. I am sorry to have been the bearer. More lessons in basic reality? Nothing more nor...
Yes. He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes. That means not de jure. Permit me to conclude with this. And if those authorities drink so... Glad to have been of assistance.
Vigilance officer? What can this old carabiner do?
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not her death you are investigating. Revachol Fair of 91 in the Faubourg district. A parade was held to honor Guillaume Le Lion's name day, and the Carabineers marched in the place of honor. This was the happiest day of my life. Absolutely not. She died of pneumonia in her bed at the age of 79. This is highly usual.
I was 22 when I returned from King Guillaume's Akira operation in the south and found my sweetheart in the arms of this wretch.
The Ikeda operation was a 7-year campaign during which suzerain Guillaume's army forcefully united the people in the southeastern part of La Petite Continent, collectively known as the Ikeda tribes, under the Revacholian banner.
I won her back, but while I was dealing with some issues.
You were like a dark cloud sucking the joy out of every living thing around you. And you hurt her.
Dark cloud. That sounds unpleasantly familiar.
Those days and memories are gone.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an...
It is such a pleasure to see you, sweet, sweet Jenny. Ask away, officer. Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left. Sure, officer. They are the good guys around here. What do you need? Writing work mostly. Occasionally, Oh, nothing of it.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's just the way things work around here. No reason to feel... No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
All right, this is how we're gonna do it.
Like what, officer? This is as good as they come in Revachol, I assure you.
An array of delicious recipes flashes through your mind. Salads, salmon, sandwiches. Bing. This calls for an engineering angle. Structural rigidity, exposed rafters, lattice works, that type of approach.
Mon Dieu, that is an excellent idea. That would virtually negate the component loss. Ce serait délicieux. Can you make that sandwich, officer? I hope you are not just tricking an old man out of the little he has left. Okay. Sure. I'm not worried. We're here.
He looks worried.
Is there anything I can do for you right?
Everything's still cool here, officer. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, supply. No need for discounts and ceilings, officer.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. Anything for you.
ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten.
I'll pass. Thanks. I mean, I'm not hungry, and therefore am not gonna take it. Thanks, though. But you go right ahead.
The portal reel is just, you press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega. Within seconds you know, this is the one, the real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to that Claudia told you about. Perform it. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it, like, yep, they're all here. All 3 verses. And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one. Gart, you have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. The lieutenant watches you pack up the boombox. He doesn't say anything. It's only a red chair. Just a red chair in an empty shack, with what looked like a dusty bow tie on the shelf. Nothing to see here, right?
In someone's abandoned shack. On the coast. In Martinez.
He's afraid you've forgotten suddenly.
Nothing. It's just a piece of furniture.
Red paint is peeling off it. Looks like...
It's just a piece of clothing you've picked up. You do that, officer. You collect clothes sometimes.
He sounds a little worried. It's an odd habit. Don't be worried, Lieutenant. Clothes...
Our tenant plays a lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to, like I said, it's just a vicious.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny. She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Not much. Some things.
So, they don't hold services?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some, I don't know exactly, a pre-war place. It used to be something, before the war. I wasn't here then. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. What? You're one of those real, used to be a, and now you know everything there is.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not...
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when detected.
Yes? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have...
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised? You don't have to take this display of authority. You can disobey.
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment to spill over.
The lieutenant is pretty sure.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. Oh? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Oh. That's good to know, I guess. An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see, you never know, officer. Some things might have a soul.
Heavy wooden doors. Nothing happens.
I don't think that's going to...
High above, the wind wraps the church in its wrap.
There is a hole.
The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough. The carving on the door is block-like and angular. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. The padlock, should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry.
Maybe we should look for another way in first. How about we go and check out that tent?
It'll be easier to break this.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? Yes, they even...
A pleasure.
Yes. To lure in their star... Actually, no one knows.
Buckle up.
10 years ago...
Wait. He did it. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom?
Yes. Tape computer. Oh, I'm afraid...
Wait. Is he saying that we should just...
Officer, I told you this chapter of history wasn't on Mikhail's curriculum yet.
The boy looks first at you, then back at his father, confused.
They used them for military communication. What's the Mars Decree?
A short-lived
It's a beautiful piece of... I tried to get Mikhail to memorize.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book.
Actually, no one knows.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did...
Wait. Did he just say he did it? He said Wumpty Dumpty Doms. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center for Contemporary Arts.
Actually, I think there is. No, it's too much. It's just...
In fact, I'm not. But perhaps I should return to...
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution. Yes, the official... Who knows? Maybe it was an act... But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling. If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, I do some...
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a form of martial arts.
Lo Mantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway...
You see, a slogan used to intertwine. Metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a life is garbage. You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. The machine eats the coin, and in the middle of it, a familiar ring. Calling. 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 It looks like she does not want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Come on, you know why. The headset lands in the cradle with a clank. The scruffy-haired little boy kicks...
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be...
He looks just like me.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids. Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
All the old... You see rows of toy soldiers guarding this set of...
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Okay. I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
He seems to have his own take on... They're not all blue.
Which ones?
This set of soldiers...
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. I don't like either set.
He seems to have this set of...
I think their... Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in big men on big horses.
Franco-Nigerian knights.
Hello. Let me know. Of course. Sure. Let me have a... I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. More than sure. What else have you got? Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but I can try. I do my best to keep...
No one likes to see what you have. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Someone...
What? This is a pawn shop, and it did. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another. Alert.
You were adamant, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the chart, she didn't seem like a police. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? You're right that she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her.
She didn't, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the... In that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from us, if we can find her.
She didn't seem, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also...
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if They went their way. It was a trip. But you...
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your guy.
Sure, man.
The worn and beat.
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you want? 57th, over and...
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a...
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. It's like, whatever's going... They want to keep that money flowing in, my man.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a...
Don't call Abigail! Don't call Abigail!
There's no use in yelling at drunks. He's barely...
The drunk man starts coughing. The man hiccups. Then...
Don't! No!
There was little chance he'd be a reliable...
The legend! He's back. And thirsty. Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Aye, that's what I said. Good, my man. Now what can I offer you?
Tequila sunset. Wonderful. Classy. The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact...
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost...
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000...
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides. What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see? Well, yes, but it's the man on the horse that's of interest here. A man with no head on his shoulders, wearing a found tracksuit, searching for the legendary found cap that went missing when he lost his head.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Well, there are many versions of this story, the most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man. If I hadn't lost my keys that one time, I'd agree with you. But life is a cruel mistress. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless found rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file, but please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless found rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
Naturally, Ula de Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless found rider and that she ran, fearing for her life. During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story. No, she committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well, here's to another case closed. Anyway, that's the story of the headless found rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost-found cap, plotting revenge. Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories? Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that. Do you always try to pick the lamest option possible? Come on, Tequila!
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated. No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight. Ooh.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
He breathes in deeply, preparing.
The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend. There are many very...
Are you telling the story?
Shut the fuck up!
The streets are warm, in the harbor's dark. Her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace, and what she doesn't know is that a headless man, rumored to be searching for his legendary woe is right.
Tell him about the two feminine.
Fuck, Rosemary. What?
I've read the case file.
Right. The wind.
Two women.
The women are called.
Don't turn around.
When she sees, but there is. Ula makes her body is never recovered. Word on the street is that she, you know, gave herself facial deconstruct.
That part, at least more.
See? Told you. Anyway, that's the story. No one knows.
He won't, though.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
I actually do have one. The strangest. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice. Interesting. Ah, this is what they use to keep the working man going. This last one is the most Martinez story I've ever heard. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff. No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions. Hey, hey! Fuck, all kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people. You know, obsessive types. People with predilections. Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me. I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all. Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
But then, something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know tequila, nose candy, the White Railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Or Emalan Gold, for the plateau on which most of the world's supply is grown and harvested. Typical
Sinus salt, the White Knight.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also flake, powder, pearl. Really, anything that's white will work. He's talking about cocaine, baby.
Shit yeah, tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time. All day, baby.
Hey, tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine." I know, tequila. I know. But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly 1/4 kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
That's almost certainly anatomically impossible. Wrong again, nerd. Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this 1/4 key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. The
cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there. Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Now, detective. Always the skeptic. My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air, or in an ancient state pyramid offshore.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
Wait, maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast? Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance. Not that I can think of, currently. That might be the case, yes. Right. I've never...
A shovel hits the sand.
All kinds. Some of the first time I saw one of...
There's no way. It can't be.
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story to be Okay, there was...
He existed, or I'm too...
Anyway.
A paradox.
But then something turned. You've got... Now.
Right, wrong. All...
Hey, apparently... I know, but the story...
That wrong.
That there... The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum.
Bullshit.
I'm...
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Good.
What?
For one, the way is blue and it's...
I have to. Besides, it would look...
What are you talking about? Don't.
Your loss.
That's all right.